Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And what ānanda is mindfulness of breathing. Here, a bhikkhu having gone to the forest, to the foot of a tree, or to an empty hut, sit down, having folded his leg crosswise, straightened his body, and established mindfulness in front of him. Just mindful, he breathes in. Mindful, he breathes out. Breathing in long, he knows I breathe in long. Or breathe out long, he knows I breathe out long. Breathing in short, he knows I breathe in short. Or breathing out short, he knows I breathe out short. He trains thus, experiencing the whole body. I will breathe in, he trains thus, experiencing the whole body. I will breathe out. He trains thus, tranquilizing the bodily activities. I will breathe in. He trains thus, tranquilizing the bodily activities. I will breathe out. He trains thus, experiencing raptures. I will breathe in. He trains thus, experiencing raptures. I will breathe out. He trains thus, experiencing happiness. I will breathe in. He trained thus, experiencing happiness. I will breathe out. He trained thus, experiencing the mental activities. I will breathe in. He trained thus, experiencing the mental activities. I will breathe out. He trained thus, tranquilizing the mental activities. I will breathe in. He trained thus, tranquilizing the mental activities. I will breathe out. He trained thus, experiencing the mind. I will breathe in. He trained thus, experiencing the mind. I will breathe out. He trained thus, gladdening the mind. I will breathe in. He trained thus, gladdening the mind. I will breathe out. He trained thus, concentrating the mind. I will breathe in. He trained thus, concentrating the mind. I will breathe out. He trained thus, liberating the mind. I will breathe in. He trained thus, liberating the mind. I will breathe out. He trains thus, contemplating impermanence. I will breathe in. He trained thus, contemplating impermanence. I will breathe out. He trained thus, contemplating fading away. I will breathe in. He trained thus, contemplating fading away. I will breathe out. He trained thus, contemplating cessations. I will breathe in. He trained thus, contemplating cessations. I will breathe out. He trained thus, contemplating relinquishments. I will breathe in. He trained thus, contemplating relinquishments. I will breathe out. This is called mindfulness of breathings. If ānanda, you visit the bhikkhu Girimananda and speak to him about these 10 perceptions, it is possible that on hearing about them, he will immediately recover from this affliction. Then, when the Venerable ānanda had learned these 10 perceptions from the Blessed One, he went to the Venerable Girimananda and spoke to him about them. When the Venerable Girimananda heard about these 10 perceptions, his afflictions immediately subsided. The Venerable Girimananda recovered from the afflictions, and that is how he was cured of his afflictions.
Thank you. So this is the 10 perception of 10th one of the teaching, and we been spending time and reading and trying to understand the other factors. And here the Buddha express and teaches all 16 steps of breathing meditation. At the moment, what we practice is the first 4 steps. This 16 has included into 4 satipatthanas. The first 4 is belong to contemplation of bodily features or contemplation of the body, kāyanupassana. And then the second four is on feeling contemplation. The third four is contemplation of the mind. The fourth four is contemplation of the mind objects. That's how they have categorized into satipatthanas. So when someone practices breathing meditation, knowingly or unknowingly, that person focuses on the body, because the breath is belong to the body. It's a part of the body. And we have somewhat understanding about the breathing, the basic four practices, which starts the first jhana and leads for the rest of others. Here, the person breathes in and out long, and the breath is short, and the experience the whole body. The body means entire breath. It's not the physical body. It's about the entire breath. Remember the third step. And then experience the tranquility with the breath, the silent breath, subtle breath. So this is the prescription. This is the prescription. Simply, this is the menu. Then we have to cook. When we consume, when we eat, then we experience it. He trains thus, tranquilizing the bodily activity. I will breathe in and I will breathe out. That's the concentration level. That's a concentration. So the bodily activity means the breath is tranquilizing, or it's being silent. And the body gets tranquilized, also the mind gets calm and relaxed. Then the concentration arises. So sati nimitta arises. Sati nimitta means that we have one-pointedness and we have come to a unshaken mind through the observation. Also, that's the hard part of the practice, because we have to spend more time with the bodily activities, the breath, then until it gets settled down. Then the second four, experiencing rapture. I will breathe in and breathe out. What is that? If we continue further from the concentration, then we increase our joyfulness, enthusiasm of the outcome. And then we being happy, experience the happiness, breathing in and out. Then we have tranquilized the breath, and now it's being subtle. Now we have the concentration through the breathing observation, and then we experience the rapture and the happiness. So to have that state, we need to spend more time and enough time with the concentration, and we feel the bodily tranquility and the unshakenness of the mind more and more with the happiness. And so here says, experience the mental activity. That's chitta sankhara. Mental activity means, chitta sankhara means that when the rapture and the happiness arise, we feel it. And here, the second four is belong to the feeling contemplation, Vedananupassana. Rapture or the happiness or the joyfulness, those are belong to the feelings, pleasurable feelings. These pleasurable feelings are not mundane, they are supramundane. They belong to the path. They are not the outcome of sensual pleasures. These are out of sensual pleasures. And this has more energy to push us on the practice. And then mental activity is that happiness and the joyfulness is there. That feeling becomes a mental activity or the mental construction. Chitta sankhara. Sankhara is volitions. Remember? Sankhara means volitions. Then that joyfulness, happiness, rapture becomes mental activity or construction. And then tranquilizing the mental activity, that means he suppresses mental phenomenon or these formations, and still focusing on the breath, the breath and the practice. That way, that happiness, that joyfulness will be increasing more and more. And then the third four describes, he trains thus, experiencing the mind. I will breathe in, I will breathe out. So what is that? That's the mental observation or the mind observation, which means contemplation of the mind. Contemplation of the mind. There are 16 ways to contemplate on the mind. And here, Buddha says, experiencing the mind, that we are more into the mind and we fine-tune the mind here with more experiences. And the mind is so sharpened. And also, mind is more into us. It's not wandering. There's no such wonders, and there's no distractions. Mind is purely calm and relaxed. And in that way, he trains thus, gladdening the mind, I will breathe in and breathe out. That means that joyfulness, that tranquility, that happiness have more cultivation and developed. Abhippamodayan chitta. That means mind is more into it and fully concentrated then. In the concentrating the mind, I will breathe in and out. The mind is completely concentrated, unshaken, no wandering, and is free from all the distractions. Fully concentrated. And he trains thus, liberating the mind, I will breathe in and out. That means is free from the mental activities. nothing. He completely liberated himself from the mental activities. No mental formations. And then the fourth four says contemplating impermanence. So then that's the vipassana part of it. Again, that breath is impermanence and the mind is impermanent. And seeing that change, seeing that true nature, the person being observed and contemplating the fading away. I will breathe in and out. So the mind is fully freed from bonds and it's completely free from all the attachments. And he trains thus, he trained the mind, he breathed in and out, seeing that. And contemplating the cessation, nirodha, he sees and he sees how the breath and the mind is ceasing and free from the bonds. And if there's a cause for the suffering, and it is ceasing. And contemplating the relinquishment. I will breathe in and out. This is entirely the vipassana. And this is paṭinissaggā. Paṭinissaggā means completely free from, again, relinquishing and abandoning the attachments, all the belongings, all the clingings. Not even for the breath, not for the concentration, not for the rapture, joy. And the mind is completely free from all the attachments. And still, I'm seeing the nature, seeing the reality, breathing in and out. So that's the ultimate practice of the breath meditation. So there's a discourse with the direct translation and direct explanation of the breathing steps. In the future, we will going to read that discourse as well to get the understanding of the breathing meditation. So here we just wanted to focus on this perceptions, and then breathing meditation is one type of perception that helps us to realize the truth. So by hearing those 10 perceptions, Venerable Girimananda was healed and recovered from his afflictions and from his sicknesses. And then it came as a teaching, the discourse to Girimananda. Okay, so we can focus on the questions if you have any. I'm sure you might.
Bante,
Yes, sister.
may I ask the contemplation of the mind versus the contemplation of the mind's object? Can you please explain? Thank you.
So when we say the mind, it's alone, the mind. We recognize what is mind. This is mind. Mind objects is described what is the wholesome, what is the unwholesome, and what is the nibbana, etc. The satipatthānas have another meaning. When we focus on the body, it belongs to form aggregate, rupaskandha. Then the contemplation of the feelings belong to feeling aggregate. And contemplation of the mind is belong to consciousness aggregate. And the mind objects or contemplation of the mind object is belong to sankhara or volitional formations or mental formations and suññā or perception. Those are the definition. So mind alone, mind observation or the contemplation of the mind is belong to consciousness, because there are 16 things like concentrated mind, unconcentrated mind, and the angry mind, not non-angry mind, or the happy mind, or the rapturous mind and distracted mind, hindered mind, unhindered mind, etc. And then those are the part of the consciousness. And then it's a separate understanding. And mind objects, the hindrances are objects of the mind. And aggregates are objects of the mind. Four Noble Truths are objects of the mind. Those are sankharas or constructions of the mind. So that's how the Buddha describes. When we go to the Satipatthana Sutra to describe, you will get more sense of it.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, can you just summarize? I think we have covered a couple of weeks, on this Girimananda Sutra, right? I think, what is the essence of this, please? If you can just say that in a couple of words, I think that really will help us to put everything together. Because now, I think my mind is still very frazzled on the different parts, of this sutra. But, at the end of the day, what is the summary of this, please? Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. If I say a couple of words, this is samatha and vipassana. All these contemplations helps us to understand from the beginning to the end. It leads to the nibbana. These 10 perceptions are 10 different practices, meditations, and they can be applied in the daily living as well. So no need to sit to practice this. And the summary is, this leads to nibbana. This is the life. It covered everything what we have to practice. It covered the Four Noble Truths. It covered the 3 characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And it covered aggregates, hindrances, and the breathing meditation and so forth. It simply covered the entire 4 contemplations, satipatthanas. And that's a briefing for the sutra, but I know there should be more other questions. And someone raised the hand, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. And then another one is that when we observe the in-breath and out-breath in between the tip of the nose and the top of the lips, it may come to a point that we found that there is one place where the in-breath and out-breath touch. So should we put our mindfulness in that one place where the in-breath and out-breath converge?
I quite didn't get you.
Okay, when we place our awareness between the tip of the nose and the top of the lips, then if you are mindful enough, we can find that the in-breath and out-breath meet at one place, one point in between the space that I mentioned.
So that means that when you are fully aware of it, you feel it.
Yeah. So should we focus in that one point, the one point where the in-breath and out-breath meet?
There's no necessary for that, because the expectation is to suppress the mind or free the mind from distractions, and we come here to get things easier. And when the breath is completely subtle and silent, or when you completely realize that the breath is in-breath and out-breath, and no need to get that point. Oh, I mean, it's not necessary, but if you feel it, that's feel it. But still, what the expectation is the concentration. And whenever you feel, just recognize and continue the practice. So sometimes I know, sometimes people try to see the impermanence of the in-breath and out-breath, and sometimes the cessation of in and out. But it's a distraction according to the descriptions. And without taking different objects, it's better to follow the steps that Buddha have taught.
And then Bhante, once we encounter or we experience the mental happiness, the happiness mind, because there's no thought, very calm, and then the body is relaxed, should we move from concentrating the in-breath and out-breath, from in-breath or out-breath to the comfortable body and all the happiness mind?
You mean in the concentration, right?
Yes.
So when the mind is concentrated, happiness arises, and we don't focus on the breath, but we are being mindful. The breath is silent and subtle because it's hard to touch there, because it's almost being silent and completely kind of faded, but still we breathing in and out, but still we feel it's kind of faded away, and we don't feel the hardness of it, right?
Right, correct.
And so if we come back to the breath, I mean, from the concentration, that means we distract the concentration and we make the mind, we allows the mind to bring the
Wonder.
thoughts again. Then we distract.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we focus on the happy feeling and
Yes.
the
Yes.
comfortable,
The comfort.
relaxed body, the comfort,
Yes.
the ease. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's
Bhante.
an experience.
Okay, thanks, Bhante.
Thank you.